Hey everybody, this is James from South Texas RC and BRB Racing. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So today we have out on the tailgate the Arrma Infraction Mega. I picked this up from RCHQ in San Antonio, Texas as a premium used, but it was actually a trade-in, and guess what? If you look at it, it was never used. Never used at all. So shout out to Phil at RCHQ. You are awesome, man. Great truck, great buy. So what we're going to do today is we're going to run it exactly how it sits, box stock, see how it performs, and see what we're going to do with the truck from that point. So let's run this thing and find out what we got. All right, first run, let's see what it's got. So yeah, that is, it's smooth. Don't get me wrong, it's smooth. Looks like I already got a rock stuck in the servo. Let me go get it real quick. So yeah, caught a little piece of asphalt already up inside there. That's one annoying thing about the Arrmas. If they get a piece of debris stuck up there by that servo arm, it jams up the steering. So I said it's smooth. Don't get me wrong, it's smooth, but it's slow. It is very slow. And no smoke and mirrors, I'll let y'all see. It is on 100% on the throttle. That is 100%. All right, now let's take it up a notch. Let's go lipo. Now, note, to switch these over to lipo, you have to do one little setting. There are a couple of little, I guess you call them chips or whatever you want to call them here. And it does show you the instruction right here on the back. So this one here needs to be scooted over, I believe. Let's see, reverse on, running cell, lipo. So it shows them as being, let's see, mode if running lipo cells, battery mode. So yeah, both have to be stacked with each other. So you just take this little thing out here and scoot it over one, and that's going to set it to lipo mode right there. Let's go and load this lipo battery up and see how it performs with the lipo, because nickel metal, it was really slow. So it is sporting a 9-turn motor in here. So we're going to run a Power Hobbies 5200 milliamp 50C battery in it. Of course, I'm going to have to run an adapter for my battery here. All right, power it back on. That should be correct. Sounds like the slipper needs to be adjusted a little bit too. Got some rocks in there. Actually, that made it a lot faster. All right, let me get the shell on and we'll do some more runs. I'm not saying this is the right tool to use, but it was a quick grab. So it looks like to set the slippers on these, it's this plastic nut. So I'm just going to grab it gingerly by the edges, not to screw anything up. Let's get a good grab on it if I can. And then just roll the truck forward and push against it. And that should be able to set up the slipper clutch to the proper tightness. As I noticed that when I did that first takeoff, it just spun the slipper. So let's see what it does now. Lot better, lot better. All right, now we're running 2S lipo. Let's see if there's any difference. There should be. I don't know if it's going to be drastic difference. It looked like it was going to be, but let's find out. I don't like how it drags like that. I'll check it out when I bring it back in, see if there's any way to raise up those body posts or not on it to bring it up a little bit higher, because it is is hitting that front bumper on dips. So let's see what it does on 2S. Oh yeah, definite improvement. Still slow though. Not as slow, but it's slow. Time to go brushless. So we're going to stick this Vendetta 3500 Series 3S in this truck, see what exactly happens. Everybody says the Vendetta can hold up and handle it. So let's see. We're going to run this on 3S. We're going to gear it as the infractions are geared, the 50/20. Everybody says, hey, it's got a 3900 in the Arrma's, this 3500. Of course, it's supposed to be able to spin a bigger gear the lower the KV. So let's drop this in and let's see what happens. Oh, that's definitely not good. Not good at all. Work out well. 30 seconds and I know exactly what I'm going to do. Well, since they discontinued this, that I paid a fortune for, let's just go ahead and transition some parts from one to the other, and I'm going to have a fast truck. So let's see what happens. Oh yeah, much better. Much better. Now let's see what this truck can do. The only problem is now I have an empty chassis sitting over here. I got an idea. All right, junk parts. Yay, junk parts. I couldn't leave that car not running. Junk parts. Let's see what we got now. Oh yeah, much better. So that was a Typhon that we took the 3200 KV and the 100 BLX out of, dropped it in here, and yes, we're running the gearing 20/52, and no, well tried, this can do it, and we know that can already do it. So I just couldn't leave it an empty chassis. Come on. But yeah, the Vendetta, guys, not good for this setup at all. It is a toaster. Let's make some runs. Before we make some runs, let me explain. So I'm not going to transition everything back over again because I've already bolted on parts. I'll show you what I did. So now we've got basically, this was a flippy flop for chassis and truck and parts. So this is the, I guess you want to call it the Infraction Mega. And this is the, I don't know, Detafrax. Anyway, so this was originally the Vendetta. I only had to take off the foam here and remove this piece of plastic here from this truck to that truck, and then move these posts here to make a transition from one to the other. And of course this one had the handles. The handles won't fit under the body, so the handles, I just ditched them. And this one still has the side guards, which are a lot better for the Vendetta to keep rocks out. So eventually I'm going to get some side guards to put back onto this truck. So there'll be both. Even if you have a True Blue Infraction, I would say ditch those handles and put these side guards because it helps keep the rocks out. So with now that being said, of course you can even see it's backwards. We've got Vendetta, which goes to Infraction, and then we've got Infraction, which goes to Vendetta. So now let's make some runs. Oh yeah. Of course, we already know how this one's going to perform because it's just been, you know. Yep, definitely a top performer. Well, there you all have it. So there was the weird experiment slash butchering slash restoring slash, well, you get what I mean. Well, now you see what you can do to change a Vendetta into an Infraction or Infraction into a Vendetta. But now, both of these are prime working vehicles. But just don't use a Valenian, because there's a lot of people that swear by them. And yeah, no. And it should have been able to take the gearing, the 50/20, because like I said, if you go lower in KVs, it can spin a bigger gear. The higher in KVs, the smaller gear, and it just wasn't able to handle it. So I had to drop a 3200 in this guy, and it holds it, runs it, it's flawless, never have any issues with it. And they go, well, that's a 32 versus 35. No, wrong. This is a 3900 kV in here. 20/50 and, or yeah, 20/50 and 20/50. So I guess it just couldn't take it. But let me show you another funny one though. Okay, so here's the funny one. Traxxas Valenian system, the VXL. A drag slash. Very, very super lightweight 2-wheel drive. I wanted to run this as 3S. So what I did, I took the cover off to show you the gearing. I'm running it over 83/18. I changed it from the regular stock to 83/18. Run it as a 3S, and I have no problems with it because it's a very lightweight truck. And then look at an 18 gear. Let me grab something to show you what I'm talking about. I don't want to be running back and forth, but I do have a 15. So this is off of an Arrma 15. And then, of course, there's the 18. And this 83 is about the same representation as a 50 in its pitch. So if you take this and you put that over the top of it, you can see major difference in size. Now imagine running this with a 20 on that gearing. It does not work out. So when it comes to Valenian systems, it is all about the gearing. Very small gearing, and you get better results out of it. Anything else, like the 2-wheel drive, I wouldn't go any higher than that 18 on that pinion, to be honest with you. Actually, probably go a little bit smaller on other applications, but 18 is about the max on this one right here. So let me show you this one run. Like I said, it's flawless, absolutely flawless. It's just, this is a lighter weight truck versus those other guys. And the reason why I geared it this way is, yes, I didn't want to have, I believe it's what, 76/22 is the drag slash gearing. Don't quote me on that. I think I'm right. Don't beat me to death, but I think it is 76/22. And you can't use it for like all-time running really that much because it will overheat. And I wanted something that I could run 3S on at the same given time and still drag with. So in this case, you'll see that this can do little runs all around, stop and goes, never have any issues. And also I can still drag with it. Of course, not officially drag because most drags are 2S, but I wanted something a little bit more beefier and a lot more quicker at the throttle punch. So let's go ahead and make some runs with it. And like I said, I wanted this more along the line of a dragster and a little play around, you know, stop and go play around. And if you leave it set up on the other gearing, you cannot do this for any more than maybe 2-3 minutes, because if you do, you're going to overheat it. And then if I want to drag, I can drag with it also. And it still drags. Tell you what, dogs do not like the sound of RC cars. Oh yeah. So you can use a Valenian system, but it needs to be in a lightweight vehicle, two-wheel drive preferred with the proper gearing, and it works. But don't try to slam it at anything heavier than these little two-wheel drives, because they will overheat, regardless if certain people say, oh, the Valenian can handle it. No, it can't. So until next time, guys, it's James with South Texas RC and BRB Racing, and I am out.